Hi mathematicians, today we're going to look at graphing trigonometric functions, and we're going to put all of the transformations you've recently learned all together. So you're definitely going to want your notes out, pen or pencil, and then all the colors you've been using to graph your amplitude, your horizontal shift, and your vertical shift, and then also a calculator if you need to do some division, okay? So the very first thing, how do we find our various information? So you already have this down, so you probably don't need it down, but in case, go ahead and write it. So your amplitude, remember guys, is your A value, your absolute value of A. Your period then is 2 pi, remember it's always 2 pi, divided by my B value, right here, 2 pi divided by B. Then my increment, remember, is period divided by 4. Remember, the increment was what did we count up by on our x-axis, right? My horizontal shift is going to be either right or left, and it's going to be our h value right here. And then my k value is either going to be up or down for your vertical shift, depending on what it is. And remember, a horizontal shift does go opposite of what you think. So if it's a minus in the middle, you get a plus, or you're going to go to the right. If it's a plus in the middle there, in the parentheses, you're going to go to the left. So always remember, that one's backwards from what we normally think. So let's try our first example here. So I have my amplitude. Very first thing I noticed, there is a negative, so I'm going to put a big note here. Flipped, so I don't get lost, okay? Because it is a flipped function. My amplitude is 1. Period would be 2 pi divided by 1, which is just 2 pi, really. My increment then is 2 pi over 4. And that is just pi over 2, right? Because remember, our period is 2 pi over our x value, or the value behind cosine right here, which is 1. Horizontal shift, I notice I got something right here. So that looks like I'm going left 3 pi over 2. My vertical shift, I'm going up 3. There we go. Now let's go ahead and draw in our graph here. Looks like I gotta go up 3. So actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to make this go down a little bit. There we go. I'm going to go down here. Alright, now to find my vertical shift, I'm going to count up 3. 1, 2, 3. So this is going to be my new midline. So let's go ahead and draw a line here. Okay, that's my new middle. Now let's draw in our amplitudes from there. So I'm going to count up 1 from both sides. So it looks like it's going to be about right there. So let's go ahead and draw in our amplitudes. There's 1 right there. And then down 1. There we go. Okay, and then let's go ahead and count our, go ahead and do our increment. So that's pi over 2. So I'm going to go down here, count my pi over 2, 2 pi over 2, 3 pi over 2, 4 pi over 2. Now 4 pi over 2 is 2 pi, so I do have one positive period. Let's go backwards now. There we go. Okay, now horizontal shift. I am told I need to go left 3 pi over 2. So instead of starting over here, I am going to start over here at this 3 pi over 2. So this is going to be my new starting point of my graph. Okay? So I have graphed everything. Now let's actually get in our dots. So it is a flipped cosine function. So instead of starting all the way up here, because I got to start at my new start point, right? I'm not going to start up here though, because it's flipped cosine. So I'm actually going to start down here at my amplitude. And then my next mark, I'm going to have to cross over my midline. And then bounce up here. Cross over at the Y, or at the at 0. So we're going to cross over right here. Looks like we're going to bounce right here. Cross over there. Bounce up here. And then cross over there. Now let's make sure we go over here. Looks like we're going to bounce up there, right? Or cross over. So ultimately, it looks like we're doing this kind of function. If I can draw a really nice, whoop, missed a dot, but that's okay. Let's see here. There we go. So that is our graph. So this is our flipped cosine function that has been shifted 3 pi over 2 to the left, and then it went up 3. So my domain, it's still negative infinity to infinity, because I do have all of them. But your range, guys, notice I am bouncing between 2, this would be 2, right, because this was 1 down here, between 2 and 4. So my range would be 2 to 4. Let's try one more. So my amplitude, first thing, is 3. Notice it's not a flipped function because we do not have a negative. My period will be 2 pi divided by this b value, which is right there, so pi over 2. Now, 2 pi divided by pi over 2, that is technically 2 pi over 1 times 2 over pi. Okay, because remember, if you divide by a fraction, you multiply by its reciprocal. So our pi's are going to cancel off, and we're going to be left with just 4. So my increment then would be my period over 4, which is just 1. Wonderful. I'm actually going to count by normal numbers today. Horizontal shift, it looks like we're going to go right 2. And it looks like I'm going up 1. So let's go ahead and graph here. Going only up 1, so I think I'll be okay if I make it kind of in the middle. Alright, let's draw in our new midline. So I'm going to go up 1, so let's go right about here. So that's going to be my new midline. There we go. Now let's go ahead and find our amplitudes. From there, I'm going to have to go up 3 and down 3. So 1, 2, 3. There's one of my midlines, or one of my amplitudes. And then down 1, 2, 3. So my amplitudes, if I mark them in here with my marker, there's 1, and here's the other. There we go. Okay, let's go ahead and put in our increments. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, because I'm counting by ones, right? So this is my 4. I've made one period. Let's go backwards now. Negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4. Now it tells me my horizontal shift, I need to start right 2. So I am going to go right 2, and let's draw in our new y-axis right here. There we go. Alright, so I am starting at sine. So remember, we're going to start here now. So I'm going to cross over at the start point of our new midline and our new y-axis. So then I am going to go bounce up here, go straight through there. There we go. This one, it looks like I got to bounce down here, go through on the y-axis, bounce up here, go through, whoops, bounce down here, my bad, and then go through up here. There we go. So now let's go ahead and connect our dots. Whoop, missed that dot. That's okay. Like that. There we go. Now my domain is from negative infinity to positive infinity. And then my range is, where am I going between? Looks like I'm going between negative 2 and 4, right? So, whoop, bracket, negative 2 to 4. And that's the end of this video. See you later, Sabers.